Saul Kirsch here with Double Alpha Academy, and today I want to introduce to you our Primer Pro. The Primer Pro is a solution to filling your primer tubes, and as every reloader knows, that can be the most annoying and time-consuming step in the whole reloading process. The Primer Pro will do that for you quickly and efficiently. We'll unbox the product, I'll show you how to set it up, and we'll run the machine and show you it working. Your Double Alpha Primer Pro arrives in a custom configured box. This box is designed to keep the product safe in transit. Remove the packaging. Inside you will find a power adapter. This is a 12-volt DC power adapter, an instruction manual, and the Primer Pro unit itself. You'll start by removing the tape. This tape is just here to keep everything together. It also serves us as an indication during the testing process. There are 4 pieces to remove. On the collator drum. And 1 piece which is attached to the primer collar. Now, the setup of this machine is as simple as can be. Really, the only thing you need to add is a Dillon primer tube, and we've tested and set up this machine to use the 8mm external diameter Dillon primer tubes. Other tubes may be used, but the fit to the collar will require the diameter of the tube being 8mm. You're going to start by sliding the magnetic collar, which is included, onto the pipe. Now, this is designed to be a tight fit, so you may need to press on it a little bit. It's important the fit be tight to make sure that the collar and the magnet remain concentric on the center of the pipe. When the primers transition from the machine into the pipe, very important that they line up correctly, so that is why the fit is designed to be tight. If you have a pipe that is perhaps a little oversized and it's a really tight fit and you're struggling to get that collar on, you may need to take just a little piece of sandpaper on a rod and open up the collar just a hair so that the pipe will fit. But for the most part, just using a little bit of force, you can slide it on. Slide the collar down perhaps ½ an inch, 10 to 12 millimeters. That's further than it needs to be. But the next step I'll show you is how to set the distance up correctly on the collar. What you'll want to do, position the machine at the edge of your workbench. Bring the collar, the pipe, into place so that it can enter into the output on the bottom of the exit ramp. Now, in this position, using both hands, thumb and forefinger, pinch the collar upwards until it slides and makes contact with the bottom of the exit ramp. In this position, you're assured that the top of the aluminum pipe is contacting the exit hole and the collar is in place, holding the pipe in the right position. Now you can remove it, and this is in fact the correct position for the collar. If the fit is not extremely tight, you might want to just tighten that set screw just a little bit. You need a 2.5mm screw to do that. Don't over tighten it, just a little. That'll keep it in place. And your primer tube is now ready and set up for use. Let's take a look at our power supply. This is a 12-volt dual voltage power supply. It will be shipped and you'll receive it with 2 sets of prongs. The assembled one is the 110 volt for the US market. The additional one is the 220 volt for the European market. To replace the prongs, you just push that small little button on the corner and rotate the connector till it pops out. You can then insert the next one, click it into place, unwrap your cord, and your power supply is ready to use. Connecting, the connection point is inside what we call the electric box on the base of the machine. On the side over here there's a pocket which is the connection point. There's a plug there. You'll take your power supply and click that into place. There is a strain relief on the wire to prevent tension on that plug. There's a slot in the back of the machine. Just bring that into position, wiggle it into place. You need to push a little hard on it to get it in. And then once it's in position, seat that wire down, and now nothing will get in the way as you move the machine around, and that remains securely in place. And guess what? Your Primer Pro is now ready, set up, and you're ready to use it to load primers. Now, positioning it on your workbench, The device is designed to sit on the edge of a workbench, but if you have a workbench like this display table which has a long overhang, you might find that the tube, which is angled in towards the table, slightly interferes with the working of the machine. In this case, what we're going to do now, just to display the product better, is reverse the table so this padding on the front end of our table doesn't interfere with the primer tube. So now that we've set the magnetic collar in the correct position on the primer tube, we've connected our power line. Now on the power cord there's a power switch that you'll want to turn on. When you do that, the LED flashes 3 times indicating that the power is on, and the electronics are now reset. We know the machine is ready for use because the LED is flashing slowly. Every 3-4 seconds it gives one small flash indicating that the power is connected and the machine is ready to run. Seating your primer tube, you need to make sure that the primer tube sits exactly correctly. What you don't want is a step created between the machine output hole and the primer tube. That will cause primers to hang up. You hold the primer in your strong hand and you bring it in underneath the collar. The magnetic collar snaps into place, and now you spin the primer between your finger and thumb, just perhaps half a turn, just to make sure that it's settled and centered and that it is in line with the hole. This is something that you just do as you click it into place, and now the machine is ready, the primer tube is connected, and it's ready to run. Pop the lid off the funnel and drop your small primers in. We recommend loading the collator with perhaps 300 to 400 primers. That produces the fastest output speed. Going up to about 500 will reduce the output speed. It will still run. And every time you remove a full tube, just dump in some more primers, and that way the machine will run at its optimum speed. Pushing the activation button on the side of the machine will set it in motion. You can put the lid back on. You don't have to, it'll run without the lid as well. And now the machine will start collating those primers. You'll see them sliding down the ramp where they will be counted by the optical sensor, and the activation hammer arm helps to seat them above the pocket to ensure that they fall smoothly and feed into the primer tube. This machine running now will complete and load 100 primers within about 45 to 1 minute, 45 seconds to 60 seconds. In some cases it may take a little longer than that, but always well under 1 minute and 15 or 1.5 minutes on the outside. When the machine has counted 99 primers, it will power down and stop. The LED will flash slowly, indicating that it's in standby and it's ready to run again. If for any reason there's a jam or a malfunction with the exit point and the primers start piling up along the ramp, the LED will start flashing quickly, indicating there's a problem, and the unit will stop. As you can see here, it's completed its cycle. It's dropped 100 primers into the tube and is now ready to be dumped into your reloading machine, at which point you can put the tube back and run again. In reality, you really only need 1 primer tube, because you transfer this into your reloading press, you put the empty tube back on the machine. While you reload, the machine will fill the next primer tube for you. So there you have it. As simple as that. No setup time. The machine arrives ready to use. This is the new Double Alpha Primer Pro, available now from doublealpha.biz.